Alrighty, folks. Well, it is the 19th of April. Let's see here. So after I left yesterday, Troy was working on this little front side here. I don't know why he didn't take out log air. It's marked. Well, you can see here's some trees laying down in the field there. Boy, that sugar maple was right up there. It was just a dandy. Just a dandy, I tell you. I tell you, friends, it's a beautiful day. All right, well. Well, you can see I marked those beech trees right there with a big white X because I wanted them cut down. Well, maybe he's waiting for me to cut them down. If they ain't down by tomorrow, I'm cutting them down. I tell you, friends, the sun is beautiful. All right. So there was a double sugar maple right there, which those two were really nice trees too. Now this sugar maple here, it's leaning out over the field. I think what I'm going to try and do is just kind of limit up a little bit. That's stinking basswood. There's another. It's just crowding this canopy so bad. That's okay. Well, it'll. Oh, there he knocked them two hemlocks down. Oh, they were right there beside those two. I'm going to have to talk to Troy, I tell you. It's a beautiful day up here in the north. So, see what his plan of attack here is. Well, there's another sugar maple right there. I had him cut these trees because, let me see how I can get this in video. Alright, so this is flat. Right there's flat, right? Right there's the grade of that. No, let me do it this way. So right there's flat. That's the grade of this side hill he cut those trees off of. So that'll give you a little idea how steep it is. Well, he did cut that basswood. That one right there out of the way. Probably because it was in the way of him getting to that one. If you look down the edge of that field there, you can see how the trees, right here's the edge of the field, so these trees are all creeping out into the field. I don't know where Troy's at. He's up there in the hill pretty far. I tell you, friends, I worry about him. So I think what we're going to do is make a designated spot down there at the end of that field and have him skid all this stuff down there. Those two beech trees are coming out and they're getting sprayed. That basswood's coming out. This here's a sugar maple. I don't know what the... Or no, that's a soft maple. I'm probably going to have him just take that one. Because, number one, the top broke off of the... It's a double, so the top broke off of the one. The other one, I mean, it's probably borderline saw log. It's probably 12 inches maybe, but it's leaning so hard out in here into the field. I wish I knew someone that would buy basswood, because I got a pile of her. And I'd sell it, dang near give it away, I tell you. Alright, I think I'm going to go up here to this hollow. We'll take a little look around and see what's going on there. And then we'll go up on the hill and see what Troy's got going on. So, please stay tuned for this commercial break. We'll be right back at you. Alright, well, here's a picture from the top of the backside of the meadow here where we go up over. So he got all these trees over here. He got all these trees through here. So this is pretty much done. He's got everything opened up real good. That busted off one there. He just left that there for a bumper tree for skidding logs, but everything looks pretty good. I hear him up there on the hill. He's ripping into one right now. Oh, I see. He got my, well, I think he did anyway. Got my leaner down. I had a tree hung up in this crotch of this walnut here. Yeah, he pushed that back for me. Well, God bless his heart. Alright, so he's up there somewhere. Alright, well. Let's go up here and see what he's doing. So he opened this up real nice, which will release these younger white oaks there. Knocked down a couple hickories there. Oh, I tell you, friends, I tell you, it's a beautiful day here in the north. Well, I'm taking the machine up because I never have enough time in the morning, so it's going to save me about 10 minutes of walking. So I'm walking up the main skid trail. There's some nice firewood. Some nice firewood over there. If you're ever up around anyone that's logging, don't ever walk up where they're cutting unless they know you're there and they can see you. It's not for the lighthearted, because whether it's equipment or fallen trees, you can get hurt real bad real quick. There's some nice firewood. There's that. Yeah, okay. Alright. Well, he's up there. I'm going to go up and see what he's doing. I'm going to save some footage time here. Troy's right up there. Just listen to that husky rip. She's a ripper. There she goes. Live action. Coming your way. Perfect. He's looking for his next victim. Well, we'll stay here for a minute. Just listen to that husky rip. She loves it. We're gonna back up here a little bit. I can tell Troy's a little uncomfortable with where I'm at, so. Told ya. There she goes. Perfect. Ah, buck nuts. She split. Yeah, split. Dirty prick. That's right. I was just bragging about that beautiful cut you just made.
Hey, this ain't perfect science. You can't.
You think it's because it was wide out at the, yeah.
That's coming up so it's softer than the way it hit. They almost have to hit like that. If it's a little bit like that, that's a lot of pressure. What's that other limb there?
Yeah, boy, it really opened it up nice down through here, didn't it?
You should get some good regen in there. A lot of times, if you're going to do it, you might as well. That might be a little bit more than what you first wanted, but overall, probably best. Because now you're good for a while. You don't have to come back in there and mess. Because there's a lot of nice red oak, you know,
Yeah.
tall poles in there.
Well, I seen down there by the edge of the field. There's another soft maple down there. I'm just gonna have you take it too. It's probably 12-inch log, but it's big enough for something. But it's bending out over there. It's just gonna be a pain in my ass. So
I was cursing you guys yesterday.
why?
I went out along the field and cut them maples up on that bank.
Yeah.
Every freaking one of them, they grow out, then up, and then you're up and they're throwing around John said this is going to be the easiest job I ever cut.
Well, except down there, yeah.
Slide.
Yeah, I could tell by your cuts you had a little bit of a rough time because
I'm up here jabbing and they're leaning super hard, so I got to notch them and then bore in there. Make sure you get them off, and they I just fall down on my ass.
That's why I had you cut them, because yeah, you can't.
That's the nature of being phototropic. They just reaching for the sun. There's actually
Phototropic.
phototropic.
I don't know if I'm ready for that already.
Phototropic, going for wherever it can get the sun.
Yeah.
Right there in that first hole where I took 3 down.
Yeah.
There's another hard maple there, and I knocked a couple limbs off, but that isn't no big deal. But if you look at it, that stump has started to lift. It'll eventually plop right over
Yeah.
because of the phototropicness. Because it keeps leaning out there. All of them were laying out there at about 45.
Yeah. I know. It drives me crazy because you know this, but when you have a piece of property and you invest yourself in it, when you do a timber harvest, it's a personal thing.
It is.
And people think that's a joke. It's not that I'm a tree hugger. I'm not no stinking tree hugger. But it's like, I want to do the best by the land that I can. And
true. And the thing is, John, there's initially all you see is the harvest and the damage. But it's removing that to give the sunlight in there to regen. That's when you get the benefit. You don't see that immediately, you know.
yeah, you're like releasing the next generation to.
Yeah, and that takes a couple years till you really start to see that. Pretty much on this ridge line too, any ones along parallel the road, I kind of just try to drop them there, and so you can access them for wood.
Yeah, plus anything along the edge of the road that you need to move.
I just need
Yeah.
a,
Well, I'm just saying, don't be afraid to, like that double right there, we marked that for cut, because it's always in my road.
down there on the field where I did drop them, probably get some top wood at them, but I was going to hook onto them and drag them up to the upper end of the field. Just let them there where most of it gets out of the field.
I think, because there's remember that nice walnut down there I showed you on the upper end of the field? You get that out of there, but I think you can make almost like a spot.
Really?
Yeah, where you can just go in, drop, drain, drop. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're on that nice level, pretty dry right up in there. Boy, right there where that skunk cabbage is just starting to grow, and where that leaching out. Where the hell, good couple dandy deer trails where they come right down that saddle.
Yeah.
That's wet and gungy in there. Just that wet clay.
Yeah, you don't want.
It's almost right there where you really can't even get enough fall for it to go in the ditch on down there. You can extend up a little bit, but that does kind of leach out in there into the field.
Oh, so Ethan and I were talking last night. What's the poundage rating on the winch on those skidders?
Oh, hell. I don't know what the...
Well, so here's what we were talking, because he was saying about some stuff he was pulling out and this and that, and I said about you using that log for an anchor, and then
just a little bit more to pull you up there.
Yeah, and I said, I'm like, yeah, that's a heavy machine. I said that's got to be like a 20,000 pound winch at least.
You gotta remember too, when you're driving too and just spinning, you only need a little bit more, but it's pretty
stout.
Because if you like winching trees in, if you're really putting the throttle to it, if it comes up against the butt or whatever faster than you can react, it'll usually bust that choker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pow!
Yeah.
Pretty amazing piece of equipment, really.
Well, as big as that cable is.
That
cable is the same size stuff they use on the elevators up at work.
You can even get 5/8, and they make what they call swedge, where it's start out at 5/8, and they kind of heat it and draw it through through a die. It makes it smooth on the outside,
Yeah.
but it makes it stiffer too. And then when those fibers or the strands start to break, they're almost like a razor then, because it's super sharp. And you see me grab a hold, take off, and if it's kind of like a fishing rod, if it gets a knot in there and you just pull, will come out. I was pulling downhill, so I was about half running downhill, hit that knot, and it hit, and my hand slid. One of them wickers sticking out about that far, through my glove, through the bottom tip of my finger, out the fingernail, and caught right there. There it was sticking. So I had to grab the glove, lift it up over, and then yank it. And for whatever reason, it must just be the grease. But if you step on a nail, the rust or whatever, they get sore as hell.
Yeah.
So you make sure where you grab, you know what you got a hold of.
So what's your plan here? You think after you get this side done, then where are you going to move to?
I'm going to probably just keep working up here, because I'm not going to probably get a load today. I'll finish out tomorrow, kind of staying back a little bit. When we do get rain, that's greasy enough like I couldn't get her up almost to the top yesterday. But I wanted to get some of that out along the field, so if it does rain again, then I can go out that upper skid trail, dropping down, not burying those bottom trees. So I have some option to work there, work here, whatever. Brian, if Brian ever shows up, when he's here, we'll probably skid on the furthest side where.
Now, is Wheeland going to take any of this chestnut oak, or they just
yeah. Oh yeah. It's still classified in the white oak family.
Well, that's why I kind of asked you, because yeah.
I got a lot of big market on the white oak. Your white oak trees are big enough that, depending on the market, they'll saw most of them. But then a lot of that white oak market goes for staves, beer staves. They can't use for something. It has to be white oak. It can't be chestnut oak.
Yeah.
Something about the process of, however, for the whiskey barrel, it affects it. And they want a butt log. Doesn't have to be super clean. There can be some cat faces on it, but.
Yeah, I was talking to Steve, because
There's a hell of a market for it. Right?
Yeah, he gets into, he works with a lot of people, and he was saying about, so the one guy that cuts for him, he does a lot of jobs that are out on the edges of the state and here and there. And then his name's Dave, and he said that's primarily what he does is he cuts and he sells all his white. It goes straight to China, and they use it for whiskey barrels. Because I guess over in China right now, there's a big thing. They're making American whiskey, Yeah. But he said that's it. He goes, and he said it's because of the way the pores are in the white oak.
It's something for the flavoring too.
Okay, yeah.
They take the white oak, they char that, they burn it, and then the whiskey goes in there to ferment or whatever.
Yeah, do what it does.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to hold you up. It's a nice day, and I know you got work to do. I just wanted to come up and see what you were doing.
See a couple trees fall.
Get some live action. Yeah. Them cotton picking beech trees down there along the edge of that field.
We'll get them too.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because I'm like, if you wanted me to cut them, I'll cut them. I'll knock them down, but I didn't know what your plan was, so I didn't want to.
I just stopped there.
Well, I didn't know if that skidder would pull a whole tree, so with the top and everything.
Well, that big maple that I dropped over there, where they were gonna.
That was a beautiful. Yeah.
I dropped it, pulled it wholesale too out to where mare grunt. You don't think so, but there's a lot more friction when you got that top on there, dragging. On the level, you can go pretty good. Or if one of them limbs, and it takes one of them limbs growed out there like a little bumper, if it comes up against a tree, you know, even a limb that big, right up against a tree, that's a tremendous, you gotta cut it so, or whatever.
Did you look at that fell tree?
How long's that been down?
It fell last winter. I don't know. Is it soft maple?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you can use it, take it.
The soft maple. Did they stay back from the line like that nice chestnut oak there? That's a pretty good one. But it's only about 10 feet probably from the line.
Yeah.
That must be kind of in the intermediate zone.
Yeah, I think we just left that one because it
probably
was
better, and so you don't get in to a debate on where the line is and all that.
Well, and I tried to leave some bigger line trees. That way that it's easier to kind
distinguish.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of pole timber the whole way through here, and it's.
Some guys hunt turkeys.
Some of them do, yeah.
Piss ass a little bit on the weekend.
Well, I don't want to comment on that because I really don't know how they do it, but
you don't really run in the past and just hound them or anything.
No, and they're super nice guys.
Where are you guys from? Are they down from Lancaster?
Most of them come in from the it would be the southeast part of the state, so down around the Pittsburgh area. That whatever whole clan, because they're mostly family, so you know it's father, son, uncle, cousins, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Must have been pretty good wind. Did it snap that limb off?
Yep.
The oak stayed, but
well, the same time it uprooted that one. Those hickory that are laying right there, it uprooted that one, and it. Well, some of them ones down there that were busted off, it hit them too. And then that, if you look at the meadow, there's a hole. It just looks like a tornado went right down over the face of that hill. And then it went over to my neighbor's place and went right up the face of his hill. It's just like you drew a line. A straight line with a pencil. And that's where it went. And it just snapped everything off. Which that reminds me, he wanted me to ask you about, so his piece over there, he's got some nice white oak over there.
Who, your neighbor?
Yeah. It's as nice as some of my stuff. But it's just a little piece. I want to say maybe 20 acres.
20.
Yeah, maybe. But it's all side hill. That's the bad part. But some of it fell over there last fall, which I'm sure it's so good, but he's like, he can't get to it.
Well, that would be the time, because when the bridges are in and you to get an access to get across, to get it out of there, what's his name?
Jeff Wagner.
That's not the guy that has the field, or it is?
No, It's a different guy. But anyway, he wanted me to ask you. I said, I'll ask him. You know, it's not really that big a deal for them as far as size of the
material that's worthwhile. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah, and you'll see, but there's some nice white oak in there. He's just like me. It's chestnut oak, white oak, a few maple here.
Where does he live? Does he live right
He just lives. Yeah, he just lives right there across the road from me. Yeah.
At some point, take a look at it. If he's interested or whatever.
Yeah. Well, no one's going to come look at it if you're not here.
That is a lot of the issue. If there's not enough there, then the people, especially don't want to move equipment in for a little bit, and
yeah,
everybody's busy and got stuff going on. Why do I want to go down here for 5 load when?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll get out of your way. Have a good day and be careful.
I just wanted to stay on this side in case something comes flying down there.
I know.
You never know, John.
I could read your mind. I seen you getting a little nervous.
but
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that top had a Y in it, and then when it come down, the one side of the Y hit, and it twisted the tree and split the tree right down the middle. But he can still, it looks like he can still get a good butt log out of it. All right, well, it's a beautiful day. Probably not gonna have any intense live action for you, so you just have to stay tuned for the next episode. But we got a lot of timber to cut yet. He said Brian's gonna come up and help him. We'll go over here and look. So I'll show you. He's got this whole side hill. And this is how steep it is. So here's flat. That's the grade of the side hill. That's how steep this is. There's some good wood down over here though. There's a nice sugar maple. And chestnut oak. There's a soft maple there. I know there's some stuff up in here too, but this is kind of thick in there. That's where the deer like it. Well, now I don't need, what in the world? All right, well. I'm gonna try and wait things out here a little bit and get you some footage of the skidder. But that's pretty much, boy, right there's a really nice red oak. That's pretty much gonna wrap things up for today. And Troy opened up this road for us nice, and he left these tops close to the road for us so we didn't have to go so far to cut the firewood. Troy, I really appreciate that. Just another quality timber job by Gates Logging and Wheeland Lumber Company. I tell you, friends, it's a beautiful day up here in the north. All right, hang tight. So here's kind of a reverse view of where we were at. So Troy's standing right up there. Well, you can see how much it opened that up and released that other timber. Nothing like a sound of a husky in the morning. Now I want to give you an example here. So there's a nice white oak we left here, and there's one right here we left for seed trees. Now this pull timber that's growing around it, so anything within 30 feet from the center of that tree out is going to get cut. Because I want, except for that sugar maple right there, but I want to release that tree and all this is red maple, and there's some blue beech and stuff in here. I don't want any of that taking nutrients or sun away from that tree or that tree. But that'll be part of the TSI after Troy's done, which is just timber stand improvement. Now you look out through here, you see all that green? This is on my neighbor's property. That's Japanese barberry. And it is a plague. And if you don't get it under control, in 5 years, it'll be all green over there. It just crowds everything out. I've come through and sprayed it on my property a couple times now. I've got it dwindled down to the point where it's manageable, but you gotta just get rid of it. I don't like spraying chemicals, but it's about the only thing I found that'll kill it. I'm gonna walk down here and look at something. Yeah, right there is a beautiful white oak. Look at the crown on that thing. Now you can't tell it from the camera, but that butt is at least 30 inches across, if not more. So with that big crown, we'll take that out. It'll release some stuff. There's a tree here, there's some more down through there. We're gonna release this a little bit. And that'll help some of this pull timber that's coming through. All right, Troy's coming. I gotta get up there. Just a quick note. So you can see these brush piles up here. Now you can use them to your advantage to steer deer on your property. Well, most of the deer, they work around the side hills. So you can place them strategically to make them move where you want them to. A lot of guys in the industry know that, but if you don't, just keep that in mind. I'm sitting here in the four-wheeler, just enjoying the day, and glad I have off work tomorrow. Troy's, he's hooking up, he's skidding some logs up. He's gonna hook up a load and bring it down here. When he does, I'm gonna get behind him with the four-wheeler. We'll give you guys some live action to end out this video. Look at that sun. I tell you, friends, it's a beautiful day up here in the north. Beautiful day, I tell you, friends. All right. Well, I'm gonna get situated here. It'll be a few minutes, but for you, it'll only be a second or two, and you're gonna see some live action. So stay tuned, folks. All right, we're back at you here at your local Timber Harvest News Network. Troy's getting ready to drop one here. We're gonna get some more live action. I gotta stay back though because it's a big tree, but he's gonna drop it right on the road, I bet you. Well, let's go up here. I'll try and get in a better spot. All right, Troy's right about there. Just listen to that husky rap. She loves it. All right, he's coming around to do his back cut. There she goes. All right, we got some bonus footage for you. All right, I gotta get out of the way. Putting another choker on that log. Just listen to that John Deere bark. She loves it. There's some live action for you. All right, here we go. She ain't gonna get away from me. I'm gonna get her. Here we go. Hang on there, buddy. All right, we're gonna get on the four-wheeler. We'll catch up to him, don't worry. We got four-wheel go here. All right, here we go. Come on, girl. All right, let's follow him down. Now, I'm not going down that way. That's a little too steep for me. We're going this way. All right, folks, you're gonna get a little bumpy. Just hang in there. Oh, that limb's gonna cause me problems. Hold on. Oh boy, I'm in a little bit of a pickle. It'll be okay. All right. Oh, here we go. Alright, here he is coming into landing. Can't think of a better way to just listen to that John Deere. She loves it. Another loading. Alright everybody, 10-4 over. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you on the next one.